Top 10 famous people rumored to be reincarnated. Conspiracy theories about the rich and famous are growing thick and fast by the day. If they're not dead, they are members of some obscure cult or the Illuminati clan, or they paid someone to take out a fellow celebrity. Others are rumored to be reincarnations. Some even remember their past lives. Some of these theories are crazier than others, as the entries on this list will prove. 10. Baby Bruce Lee. Since he was a little boy, Reincarnated has been rumored to be the reincarnation of the famous Chinese actor and kung fu master, Bruce Lee. The boy's father has clearly been a lifelong fan and started showing his son Lee's movies when he was only a year old. At the age of 3, Reincarnated began developing his skill with nunchucks, and at age 4, he started imitating Lee's kung fu. From age of 5 he started looking lean and muscular and could almost perfectly mimic Lee's complex martial arts moves, energetically emulating the movie star's personal Jeet Kune Do, translated into the way of the intercepting fist style. His skill, discipline, and technique so impressed Dan Inocentu, a former student of Bruce Lee himself, that he made the trip to Japan to personally take on Reincarnated as his student. Together they visited Seattle, where the little kung fu master displayed his nunchuck skills by Lee's graveside. Watch little baby Bruce Lee's impressive moves in the video below. 9. Time-traveling Travolta. For $50,000, you can own an original 1860s era photograph of who appears to be a very young John Travolta. Or at least, you could have. In 2017, an antiques dealer made the purported 150-year-old photo of John Travolta available for purchase on the popular auction site eBay. Look closely at the image below and you'll see for yourself the striking resemblance in both men's eyes, hairline, and most importantly John's very unique trademark chin. Travolta, a well-known Scientologist, would almost certainly have appreciated the proof of one of his past lives. Although the Church of Scientology does not appear to have an official statement on time travel, it does, according to its official website, support the idea of reincarnation. Today in Scientology, many people have certainty that they have lived lives prior to their current one. Past lives is not a dogma in Scientology, but generally Scientologists, during their auditing, experience a past life and then know for themselves that they have lived before. 8. Carrot-topped cadet. Despite the fact that Conan OBrien flopped in a big way when taking over The Tonight Show from Jay Leno in June 2009, fans of the carrot-topped comedian are legion and loyal, holding fast to fond memories of the funny man's late-night television show. In a much-publicized huff, O'Brien declined NBC's offer to move The Tonight Show to a later slot and instead walked away and handed back the reins to Leno in January 2010. His short tenure at the show still secured a hefty severance package, so it's little wonder that O'Brien flew under the radar for a while. With $34 million in his pocket, he could certainly afford to. Late in 2010, however, he returned to the small screen with a reincarnation of his famous Late Night with Conan OBrien, which ran from 1993 to 2009. His new show was not the only thing that got reincarnated, though. The man himself is the spitting image of Marshal Harvey Twitchell, who, back in the mid-1860s, served in the Union Army. Take a gander at the picture below and see for yourself how much O'Brien resembles the dapper-looking cadet. 7. Macaulay Culkin. Yup, you read that right. Macaulay Culkin, the forever young Home Alone star of the 90s, looks just like a young Vladimir Putin. The same angelic face, the same floppy hair, and the same cupid bow. The similarities between the two do not end there, though. In his 2018 documentary, The Most Powerful Man in the World, Fareed Zakaria describes Russian President Vladimir Putin as, yes, you guessed it, the most powerful man in the world. Similarly, because of his son's enormous box office successes, Premiere magazine rated Kit Culkin one of the most powerful people in Hollywood back in 1993. Culkin is the first child actor to be paid $1 million for his role in My Girl, as well as the second youngest celebrity to host Saturday Night Live at the tender age of 11. When he was around the same age, Putin's teacher noted the following: in the 5th grade, he still hadn't found himself yet, but I could feel the potential, the energy and the character in him. When he was in the 6th grade, Putin decided it was time to achieve something life. His attitude towards his studies changed dramatically and he started to excel in school. His career rise was rapid, his journey to president of Russia happening almost overnight. Much like Culkin, who told Maron he felt his father was jealous of him, because everything he tried to do in his life, I excelled at before I was 10 years old. In December 2018, Culkin announced that he would legally change his name to Macaulay Culkin, but after seeing the picture below, Macaulay Putin is perhaps more accurate. 6. Greta Thunberg. In November 2019, at the height of Greta Thunberg's political career, the Twitter sphere nearly imploded when a picture, taken in 1898, came to light. Released from the archives at the University of Washington, the creepy image clearly shows Thunberg, together with who appear to be her siblings, fetching water from a well in Dominion Creek, Yukon Territory. Even the braid is an exact match. When the photo was posted online by Jack Strange, the uncanny resemblance between the girl in the picture and the modern-day Thunberg sparked thousands of Twitter users to joke that she might be a time traveler. The hosts of the talk show Your Morning also had a blast theorizing about the environmental activist's time-traveling capabilities and the possibility that she is from the future, here to deliver a dire warning. They further proposed that the image explains why Thunberg refuses to take a plane across the Atlantic and prefers to travel by boat. Obviously, time travelers suffer from some kind of aversion to technology. 5. Lawrence lookalikes. In 2017, a 17-year-old model named Alexia Mayer rose to fame in a rather unconventional way. Apparently, she looked scarily similar to actress Jennifer Lawrence. So similar, in fact, that she has even found herself surrounded by paparazzi. Mayer isn't J-Law's only lookalike. The Hunger Games star is also the spitting image of the Egyptian actress Zubaida Tharwat, famous during the Silver Age of the silver screen. And when we say spitting image, we mean spit. Ting. Image. Seriously. Right down to the eyeliner. In reality though, the only thing these accomplished actresses have in common is their chosen profession. And even though we can't call it a reincarnation, since Zubaida only died in 2016, the strong resemblance in the picture below is enough to make you do a double take. Or two. 4. Royal reincarnation. In 2013, one TV psychic's claims made many people stand up and take notice. Not because, as is usually the case, it sounded bizarre, but because it involved our all-time favorite royal, Lady Diana. Sharon Prasad, self-proclaimed psychic, shared in a documentary about the royal family that Prince George and Princess Diana share more than just a star sign. If we have a look at the Cancer influence with Lady Diana, this is really interesting because it shows a life-death connection. Yup. According to Prasad, Prince George is the reincarnation of his beloved grandmother. Not only because of the striking resemblance between the late princess and Kate and William's eldest son, but because of their shared interests and talents, like their mutual affection for dancing. Prince William apparently once told the press that his eldest son loves dancing just like his late mother did. While you might wonder if these people have ever heard of genetics, the video below is still worth a watch. 3. Mata Hari, the Material Girl. Madonna has been purported to be the reincarnation of various individuals. Most notably the woman known to the world as Mata Hari. Born in 1917 in the Netherlands, her real name was Margaretha Zell. As a young woman she married a Dutch army officer and moved to Indonesia, where she became a member of an Indonesian dance company. But Zell only started drawing attention when she later relocated to Paris and worked as an artist's model and exotic dancer. Promiscuous, flirtatious, and openly flaunting her body with a mystique that captivated both her audiences and the public, Mata Hari was an overnight success. The most celebrated segment of her act was her progressive shedding of clothing until she wore just a jeweled bra and some ornaments upon her arms and head. Rather like Madonna during her Blonde Ambition tour, don't you think? But, apparently, Mata Hari was just one of many past lives lived by the material girl. Her affinity for Kabbalah has led to an exploration of her previous incarnations. She was, it is said, a strong Jewish woman in these past lives, but, as she wasn't famous then, it would be difficult to historically validate them. 2. Isn't it ironic? Is Alanis Morissette the reincarnation of Sergei Prokofiev? Are the prolific musicians in fact the reincarnation of the same soul? Sergei Prokofiev was the Russian composer, pianist, and conductor behind the musical fairy tale Peter and the Wolf, which remains enormously popular today. He was regarded as one of the major composers of the 20th century, playing the piano at age 5 and composing his first opera at age 9. Alanis Morissette, of course, is the Canadian-born singer-songwriter behind Jagged Little Pill, the best-selling album of the 90s. Often described as an old soul, Morissette was playing the piano at age 7 and, just like Prokofiev, writing songs by age 9. Could they be one and the same soul? Ironically, the singer has a twin brother, Wade Imram Morissette. He looks nothing like his sister nor Prokofiev, but does, however, bear a striking resemblance to Prokofiev's second wife, Myra. 1. Queen of the People. I was taught from a young age that many people would treat me as a second-class citizen because I was African American and because I was female. Queen Latifah. Zora Neale Hurston, 1891–1960, was an African American author and filmmaker born in Alabama. Her work mostly portrayed the struggles around slavery and segregation in the United States. Dana Owens, now known as Queen Latifah, was born in 1970 in New Jersey. Her award-winning work as a singer, actress, and music producer also revolves mostly around the African American experience in the United States. Knowing this makes the image below all the more mind-blowing. Not only does Zora Neale Hurston, on the left, look just like the famous Hollywood heavyweight in character for a movie, their respective lives have demonstrated great intelligence and creativity in portraying the lives and struggles faced by African Americans throughout history. One cannot help but think they would have been great friends and mutual fans. And in addition, The Last President. In 1893 Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a book. That book was called The Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger. Trump, an aristocratically wealthy young man living in Castle Trump, is the protagonist of Lockwood's first 2 fictional novels, The Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger and Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. The little boy, who has an unending imagination and a very active brain, is bored of the luxurious lifestyle he has grown so accustomed to. In a twist of fate, Trump visits Russia to embark on an extraordinary adventure that will shape the rest of his life. But it gets crazier. The sequel to the book was called The Last President, and here's a snatch. The story begins with a scene from a panicked New York City in early November, describing a state of uproar after the election of an enormously opposed outsider candidate. The entire East Side is in a state of uproar. Police officers shouted through the streets, warning city folk to stay indoors for the night. Mobs of vast size are organizing under the lead of anarchists and socialists, and threaten to plunder and despoil the houses of the rich who have wronged and oppressed them for so many years. The Fifth Avenue Hotel will be the first to feel the fury of the mob, the novel continues, citing an address in New York City where Trump Tower now stands. Would the troops be in time to save it? It's so strikingly similar to our reality that it can't be true. Right? But it is. Oh. And the illustrations from the book look like President Trump's son too. This has led the self-described autists of /Paul/ on the mostly unmoderated social media site 4chan along with their compadres on Donald Win, the largest President Trump fan community, to declare that Baron, the youngest son of the 45th president, is a multidimensional time traveler. That could certainly explain a lot.